He posted an update on Facebook thanking everyone for the support and confirming that he's conscious and has some memory of what went down.
Is there a world where, it's Rampage's son, can Rampage go, listen, drop the charges and I'll give you $300,000? Let's say your son did that and you have the means to pay $300,000. What's your son learn if you bail him out? Does it teach your son a better lesson if he goes into the system?
I guess the answer is I don't know.
I know what you would do.
Yeah.
You would pay the $300,000, Brian.
100%.
Psycho Stu, who was assaulted by Raja Jackson, has finally filed a lawsuit against him, hoping that he gets what he deserves. On the other hand, Dylan Dan has commented that the clip was upsetting to see and suggested that Raja Jackson may struggle with controlling his emotions based on the way he threw the wrestler. He explained that in professional wrestling, performers rely on each other to ensure moves are carried out safely when sharing their balance and weight. Dan has described the throw as dangerous and completely avoidable, saying it appeared more like a deliberate act to injure rather than part of a choreographed performance. He added that incidents like this harm the reputation of wrestling, which is founded in cooperation and keeping participants safe, not inflicting injuries.
To be honest, it's hard to watch, but in a way, it's like he might have something like wrong, like maybe like anger problems, because like why would he do that, And anybody that has trained or anybody that has a brain knows when someone's working or someone's like, and like that would be like me going with you right now and you're like, oh, I'm gonna pick you up and we're working, we're doing a WWE match. Like you could slam me in my head, like I'm giving you my weight, you know what I mean? So like the guy obviously let him pick him up, and then slamming him like that is ridiculous. First off, especially being a guy that's trained. I know he's only 0-1, but like slamming the guy like that first off is ridiculous. Like any person in WWE can do that to each other. It doesn't. That's not anything like people are adding like, oh, that's Rampage Jr. or something like that. Like the guy jumped up for you to carry his weight, and he's trusting you to take care of his body. You know what I mean? And then he's throwing those shots, and like, I get you can kind of lay one in, like, you know what I mean? I can hit you like that, but not even. But the first one was like a haymaker. He's trying to like kill the guy, and like, it's just sad. Like I don't understand what happened. Like it's hard to explain what happened, and it looks bad for us too. You know what I mean? Like. And like anybody could do that. Like I can go in the ring in WWE and do that. Like why I do that? No. Like you're supposed to have a trust. And that's a different sport. It's a pro wrestling.
Moreover, the MMA guru gave a strong rebuke of Raja Jackson following the incident, labeling him as a mindless brute and saying he belonged behind bars. He expressed frustration that no one intervened effectively during the altercation and added that Raja deserved to be knocked out on the spot in the ring.
Yeah, bring that sparring partner back, tornado kick him again. Dumb animal. Brother, dumb animal, put him in a cage, straight up. Raja should have got knocked out cold in that ring. No one was doing anything about it but that pink hair guy.
However, Psycho Stu has officially filed a lawsuit against Raja Jackson following the violent incident that left him injured during the wrestling event. The legal action comes days after the speculation and public outcry, with Stu seeking justice for the attack that was caught on camera and widely shared online.
He posted an update on Facebook thanking everyone for the support and confirming that he's conscious and has some memory of what went down.
Furthermore, Brendan Schwab questioned whether Rampage Jackson should use his wealth to settle the situation, asking if offering the victim $300,000 to drop the charges would truly teach Raja anything. He wondered what lesson a son would learn if his parents simply paid to resolve such a serious matter, and suggested that facing the legal system might provide a far stronger and more meaningful consequence.
Is there a world where, it's Rampage's son, can Rampage go, listen, drop the charges and I'll give you $300,000? Let's say your son did that and you have the means to pay $300,000. What's your son learn if you bail him out? Does it teach your son a better lesson if he goes into the system?
I guess the answer is I don't know.
I know what you would do.
Yeah.
You would pay the $300,000, Brian.
100%.
Streamer XQC described the altercation as resembling an attempt at killing, explaining that maneuvers like the one executed could easily result in a fatal outcome. He stressed that individuals have lost their lives in spontaneous street altercations over far less forceful actions, and called the incident shocking, adding that the damage and chaos did not end there.
You wouldn't convince me this is not attempted murder. That is how you kill somebody. We've seen people die in street fights all the time with things that weren't even that bad. This is outrageous, and it doesn't stop.
Brendan Schwab admitted that his immediate reaction was to stand by Raja Jackson out of loyalty and a strong bond with Rampage Jackson. However, after watching the entire set of recordings in the full live stream, he concluded there was no legitimate defense for what had taken place. Schwab highlighted how grave the matter was, noting that it could deeply affect Raja's future moving forward. He further mentioned that if the professional wrestler decided not to pursue legal action, Raja would still suffer significant criticism and damage to his online reputation, potentially avoiding prison. On the flip side, he cautioned that if the matter proceeded legally, Raja could be charged with serious crimes such as attempted murder or aggravated assault, which would create several legal hurdles in the days to come.
And I'll be transparent. I like Raja, and obviously I adore Rampage. Me and Rampage have a great relationship. I love Rampage. And it's just by nature, my initial thought was when I heard about this, and I spoke with Rampage, when I heard about this, I went, all right, how can I defend Raja? I look at all the videos. I watched the full live stream and all that. I got nothing.
Oh,
I can't, you can't defend this. I see this, it's so sad. Because he was just getting started, and that all goes away if this veteran pro wrestler decides to press charges. If that pro wrestler goes, this was a bit or this was a work, and he just thought that's how it works, I'm not pressing charges, Raja's still gonna take a lot of heat online, but you're not doing jail time. Then we can figure it out. But if that dude wakes up and somebody's in his ear and goes, dude, you gotta make this dude pay. He has to learn a lesson and he presses charges. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be really tough. Attempted murder, aggravated assault, it's gonna be tough. Talking about felony, you know?
Matt Brown remarked that if Raja Jackson were not the son of Rampage Jackson, there would likely be no leniency or compassion shown toward him. He clarified that much of the mildness in public reaction came from the respect Rampage had built over the years. Brown underlined that the available footage left very little room for speculation, clearly capturing the wrestler being slammed and hit repeatedly without a chance to defend himself. He categorized the act as a serious criminal offense, potentially bordering on aggravated assault or something worse, and emphasized that Raja was lucky the victim escaped with only the injuries that have been reported.
You know, if this was anybody other than Rampage Jackson's son, I don't think there'd be any empathy here at all, but we all love Rampage and he's the man, you know, and the fact that he's his son, we're all sitting here like, bro, what the you know, and what do we think about this? You know, if it was just anybody else in the world, it'd be like, bro, throw that motherfucker, you know, in the cage and throw the key away, man. And that's probably what's going to happen to him. Like, you know, you say they're investigating, like, well, there's not a lot to investigate. Like, there's a video that shows it pretty goddamn clear, you know, what do we need to investigate here? So, you know, what's he going to get? You know, I don't know what like attempted murder is, but I mean, he was knocked out and punching the shit out of him. You know, I don't know how far they go in there or what the details are to get that charge. Aggravated assault's for sure, battery, you know what I mean? Like, this is a felony for sure, right? I mean, there's I don't think there's any way out of that. So, you know, kind of just is what it is for him now. But like what a move, man, you know, like, you want to fight the guy. Like, dude was like, you know, we watched the video right before the podcast here. And, you know, the dude was like preparing for a pro wrestling style takedown and slammed him on his head. Like, you know, dude's lucky that, you know, like you said, he's hospitalized, but man, he's lucky that that's all that happened, you know?
Brown continued by saying that while a large number of people feel compelled to stand with Rampage during this difficult time, the event still demands proper accountability, and Raja must face the rightful consequences. He condemned the violence as unwarranted and unfair, pointing out that the wrestler never had an opportunity to shield himself or react. Brown voiced his wishes for the victim's recovery, considering the man's background and previous struggles, and concluded that while Rampage alone might request leniency, everyone else should recognize the wrongful nature of the act.
Hopefully the guy's all right, man. That's about all you can say at the end of the day, right? Hopefully the guy just heals up and, you know, with some PTSD or being a veteran and everything, man, you know, just hope that the guy turns out okay, man. Send him some positive energy and hope for the best. That's about the most you can say about it. Other than that, you know, again, loving Rampage, but, you know, hopefully justice is done and his son gets what he deserves. I don't agree with Sean on that at all. You know, like, the dude doesn't, like, it'd be one thing, you know, if like they got in a fight and he fucked him up and, you know, hurt him bad, right? But like, the dude was defenseless. and then knocked out. Like, fuck him. And the only guy that should not be saying fuck him is Rampage, right? Because it's his son. And he's the one that should be saying, you know, can we just give him some help or something, you know, try to stick up for him. But everybody else, I mean, we have no reason to have any sympathy for that kind of behavior.
Sean O'Malley voiced his perspective by stating that the blows delivered were far too extreme and well beyond what was acceptable. He brought up how a professional wrestler had struck Roger Jackson over the head with a cane, questioning whether the wrestler believed it was still part of a staged performance. Nonetheless, O'Malley made it absolutely clear that such harm cannot be tolerated and violent actions like these need to stop immediately.
Yeah, no, those are full on, like, I'm getting beaten the. Those were brutal. Yeah. Oh, I did see the guy hit him over the head with the can, but if the guy thought that was part of like what I don't know. You can't hurt people like that. It's just.
Kevin Lee commented that while he personally respects Rampage Jackson, he firmly believes Rampage should hand his son over to the authorities and allow due process to take its course. Lee explained that if his own child had committed such an act, he would expect the same treatment because such violent behavior cannot be dismissed. He pointed out that Raja is a grown man and must own up to his decisions, even if that results in imprisonment. Lee did, however, note that the wrestler's act of striking Raja with a bottle initially was also inappropriate, but he made it clear that this did not excuse the brutal retaliation that followed.
And if it's Rampage, I love Rampage, but Rampage, turn your son in. He got to go lay down for a little bit. Like, if it was my son, that's what I would tell him. I mean, you a grown man, bro. You can't condone that type of behavior, bro. You gotta go lay down for a little bit. We'll get you a good lawyer. You ain't gonna be in there forever, but you gotta go lay down. I get it. He hit you in the head with a bottle beforehand. I get it. He shouldn't have did that. I don't condone that either.
Lee elaborated further, criticizing the sequence of events by highlighting how Raja waited several hours before ambushing the wrestler, who was at work, performing in character, and had no exception of being attacked. He cited reports claiming the victim's heart had stopped and that he remained unconscious for several minutes, describing the gravity of the situation as extreme. According to Lee, Raja's actions reflected impulsiveness and a lack of discipline, and he questioned how anyone could condone such an outburst. He concluded that Raja should serve prison time as a way to accept responsibility and grow from the ordeal.
To wait hours until the man was working, which we all understand, he playing a character, and he was in character, and he working, and then you sneak him, because that's what you did. I mean, you snuck him. He wasn't expecting that, and you, bro, they say dude flatlined and was unconscious for 6 minutes afterwards. Dog got to go lay down. You got to go to prison, bro. There's no part of that you thought was cool. Like, I can't even wrap my mind around why you thought that was cool and why you ain't got no self-control over your emotions.
Tim Welch reacted intensely to the footage, admitting it was almost unwatchable because the victim appeared entirely incapacitated while the beating continued. He said it looked as if Raja Jackson's objective was to inflict serious injury or possibly take the man's life, regardless of intent. Welch condemned the act outright, stating it was indefensible, and emphasized the necessity of legal consequences, particularly because the altercation was live-streamed and there were even claims that a reward was promised for a knockout.
11, 12, 13, like what? I can't even watch this. The kid's blacked out. The kid's blacked out, and I think his goal right there was to murder. Maybe not. Maybe not. Blacked out, maybe he doesn't know what he's doing, but he damn near killed the man. That's crazy. He's got to get some punishment for this. There's just going to be no excuse. He's going to probably go away for a long while, especially on stream. He's on stream and he said 50 subs for a KO.
Later, Welch added that the legal outlook for Raja Jackson appears grim, even considering Rampage Jackson's wealth and ability to retain top-tier lawyers. He warned that the case could easily fall under the scope of attempted murder due to the severity of the violence, and stressed the importance of avoiding such explosive confrontations, especially for hot-tempered individuals. Welch explained that while martial artists may equip a person to handle conflict, continuing to strike someone who is already unconscious significantly elevates the risk of death. He labeled the episode as disturbing and reminded that actions of this nature often end with prison sentences.
This isn't going to be good for old Raja. Rampage's got money. I mean, they're going to have some good lawyers. But it might be attempted murder. I mean, God, that's the thing. You got to be careful getting in street fights. If you can avoid street fights, avoid them. Especially if you got a temper tantrum. Maybe if you know a little jiu-jitsu and you get in a street fight here and there, it's okay. You can take care of yourself, get in a good position. But once you crack somebody and then you start seeing red and you're not thinking about what you're doing and you're punching them and they're already knocked out, good chance you're going to kill them. And now you might be in the pen. So, I mean, that was f***ed up.
Derek Bronson shared his view, stating that when he first heard of the situation, he assumed it was part of an orchestrated wrestling act. But upon reviewing it more closely, he realized it was a genuine and grave incident. He denounced Raja Jackson's conduct, describing it as reckless and entirely needless, and expressed that such violence had no place in the sport or elsewhere. Bronson voiced his concern for the injured wrestler, hoping for a full recovery, and warned Raja that decisions like this inevitably bring serious repercussions. He concluded by noting how minor disputes can quickly escalate into major, life-altering problems.
All right, follow me real quick. When I first saw this, I thought these guys were playing. You know, WWE hardcore match.
Oh, look at this. Mox has him off. Oh!
Disqualification, but please. No.
After doing my research, this was definitely real.
Oh, you don't.
Unavoidable.
He's not a fucking worker, bro.
Should have never happened.
I apologize. I appreciate it. I didn't know. I thought you were a worker.
At the end of the day, I hope the wrestler that was hit and pummeled is okay. And for Raja, your actions were out of line, so you're gonna have to deal with some big boy consequences for this one. All of us can learn a little something from this. Don't let small situations escalate into bigger situations that will ultimately cost you big consequences.
Chael Sonnen also weighed in, clarifying that he did not yet have every piece of information, but warned that the situation could become far more severe if Psycho Stu ended up with substantial injuries, such as a broken jaw or lost teeth. He mentioned that the authorities already possess clear and conclusive video evidence of the assault, but have not proceeded further because they're awaiting a formal statement from Psycho Stu before advancing to the next legal stage.
Now, I'm getting in front of this and I'm making these predictions without having news if Psycho Stu is injured. If his jaw's broken and some teeth are loose, all of a sudden you're having a very different conversation. But you have the police that are in possession of irrefutable evidence known as a video that an assault happened, and the police have not taken any action. And they won't take any action until a statement is made one way or the other by Psycho Stu.
That's it for today's video. So what are your thoughts on this? Do you think Raja Jackson should go to jail for this action? Would love to hear your thoughts on this cash, so share your thoughts in the comment section below and make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video. Also, check out our other videos on the screen right now.